Good morning. It is Friday, July 31st. We are just about to get started here. Make sure I have all my notes in order and that we are ready to go at 9 o'clock on our discussion of forgiveness. Good morning. It is July 31st, 2020, and this is the final installment in our Forgiveness Fridays live sessions here on Facebook at 9 o'clock in the morning Eastern Time. Because my regular job starts again in August, so this time will no longer be available to me. But I want to welcome you to Forgiveness Fridays, and thank you so much for being here. I'm Sylvia McIntosh, trained by the Fearless Living Institute in Sherman Oaks, California, as both a certified Fearless Life Coach and a certified Fearless Trainer. Welcome to this final installment in the series of meetings designed to form a community in support of healing the holes in the souls of humanity. As I mentioned, this is the last session that we'll be holding at this time of day. This morning we will again be live for our Forgiveness Fridays live Zoom chat at 9:30 Eastern Time. If you don't already have that invitation, then email me or comment in the messages, place a comment in the comment section so I can send you that invitation and you can join us. That is something that most likely will continue as soon as I know what the work schedule is going to be and can choose a time of day that I can do this. So join us today at 9:30 in the morning. If you don't have that information, then text me or email me or sign up in the comments so that I know to send you the invitation. So as we get started today, I just wanted to remind everybody that for our purposes, we have defined forgiveness as release of an event or comment so it can stay in the past, which is where it really is. And once again, this isn't pretending it didn't happen or saying it doesn't matter. It's releasing the energy around it. The event is over, and we can either forgive it so that we can continue to remain present in the moment right now. And by being present, we can be open to options, solutions, actions we can take to fix this or change how we, but the main thing is to change how we feel about it. Because unforgiveness is when we remember this event or comment and then we get all stirred up and agitated or angry or hurt again, and we replay those feelings from the past in the present moment, thereby keeping the event and the negative energy around it alive now. So forgiveness is allowing this event to live in the past, which is where it is, so we can stay in the present moment. So we can be open to what is happening now. So that we can be open to solutions or remedies if needed. And we can stay present. We can live where we are. Now, let's take Black Lives Matter again, because that's come up before, right? Yeah, it has come up before. It is about events that have happened since then, recently, over and over again. So the idea isn't that the wrongs that are occurring against people of color, and especially blacks, it's not that those don't matter. They do matter. And we need to know that they happened in order to take action now to make the changes needed so that they do not continue to happen. But in order to take effective action now, we need to be able to be in the present moment now. We need to be able to talk to the person in front of us or around us or respond to the news that we're reading now with a heart that is open to solution, to suggestion, to inclusiveness, to healing that hurt rather than adding to the hurt or making things worse. if we're going to deal with white fragility, if we're going to help uncover the idea of white privilege or even just non-black privilege, we need to be able to talk to people in such a way that they are willing to listen. And of course, I think the idea of fixing white fragility and white privilege is really the responsibility of white people who have lived it and are still living it. I'm not saying that blacks are responsible for fixing the issues we whites have about blacks or people of other color or other nationality or other socioeconomic status or whatever our issues are. These are our issues. But those of us who are white, or at least are considered white, we need to be able to do this with the kind of energy that will open conversation, open hearts to be willing to look at the possibility that this might actually be true. It might actually be an issue. And that there are things we can do to make life on earth, in the U.S., in our state, in our communities, in our schools, better for everyone now. And as the saying goes, you attract more flies with honey than vinegar. So being angry about this, reliving the bad things and being agitated and being accusatory and blameworthy is not going to open a conversation. Just even talking to myself, thinking to myself, I need to be aware of and open to and willing to look at times that I have skated through on white privilege, that I have been able to look away, turn away, pretend it didn't happen. I have to admit that for me, the issue I tend to look at is the Holocaust. Because my dad is first generation in the U.S. as a German Jewish refugee. So my perception, my opinions about refugees, accepting refugees into this country, are at odds with a lot of what seems to be going on today. And statements about not letting foreigners in hurts. What do you mean by foreigners? And why are we assuming that all foreigners are causing the trouble? And if we're going to take a look at that, is one of the most common things I hear when referencing foreigners who don't belong here and are hurting the U.S. What they really mean are Mexicans who are taking jobs. And yet if we take a good look at that, the Mexicans who are coming here and taking all these jobs are largely filling jobs that whites refuse to take. Whites don't want to spend their days, 12, 14-hour days, on top of roofs, ripping off the old one and putting on the new one. That's hard, dirty, scary work. The jobs that are taking are jobs that are available. So we also need to take a look at what is valuable work. What is a useful, productive, loving way to spend my day? What am I willing to do to support my family economy by having a job that pays, and my community economy by taking work that's available, and my community economy by having a job so I have money to go out and support other businesses that are offering services and goods that I might want to have but that I will need to pay for. And I'm not suggesting that whatever job you take, you have to have for the rest of your life. I grew up in an era where there were what were considered starter jobs, starting at the bottom. Learning how to start with, show up every day, be on time, do the work in front of you, learn more about the company, learn more about other jobs, and look for ways to do the next level job, and then the next level job, and then the next level job. And that all work is valuable, and all work is honorable. It's ridiculous to look down at what we consider the most menial laborers, like garbage collectors, cleaners, roofers, plumbers. I mean, dirty work. Why would we look down at that? How happy would you be working in an office with your nice cushy desk job and your window if no one ever came and cleaned your office, vacuumed the floor, emptied the trash can, kept the bathrooms in your office clean? We want those workers. I love the men who come by, and I say men because so far I haven't seen a woman trash collector, although I'm not sure why not. But I love the men, the people who come by my alley every week, early Wednesday morning, and empty my trash can. So that my job in cleaning my house is simply bag it all up, put it in one big trash can, take it out to the alley, and it's whisked away. I love those people. They show up every week. And if I have something a little extra large to take out in my community, like furniture, all I have to do is notify the city ahead of time, notify the collectors ahead of time, and they'll take it. I don't have to haul it anywhere. I appreciate these people. I don't have a vehicle I could haul it in if I needed to. Now at this point, I'm still cleaning my own house, but I appreciate the fact that when I go to the grocery store, the floors are clean. When I go to a restaurant, the floors are clean, the tables are clean, the dishes are washed before they get set back on the table for me to use. I appreciate those people. I've been in food service a lot, mostly as a waitress. I really appreciate the fact that there is someone in the dish tank. And I love it where I can work and there are bussers who will help me clear the table. Not so much because I don't want to do the work, I don't mind doing the work, but my primary job as a server, as a waitress, is to put things on the table, to bring things that the people need. Every time I go to the table, if there's something there they're done with, I will take it, but I really appreciate the help when someone else can help me clear the table, either to keep it more clear for the people who are there or to turn it over more quickly for the next set of people. I appreciate that help. I don't look down on these people. They're support people. Support is a good thing. I love having support. As a life coach, support is what I offer. What I do is help clean out the filters of your mind. It may not be physically dirty work, but it's important work. I can hardly describe how much my life changed after going to the Fearless Foundation workshop, which is one of the foundational workshops that Rhonda Britton teaches through the Fearless Living Institute. They are now virtual, so you can still attend them. And then choosing to enter her Life Coach Certification Program, which is a year-long program. It is the top of the line life coach training program in the U.S. and possibly the world, because we're there for a full year. We don't just learn things to say. We have to do all the work. We have to practice all the tools we're going to teach. We then have practice clients and mentors who help us work with these clients. So we can practice listening. We can practice listening without judgment. We can practice being present even when the client is feeling highly emotional, whether that's very sad or very angry, and allow the client to process all that so that we can move on, so that I can help them unlock the answers deep inside. I don't know what you need. I know that you know what you need. And I know that you have that so carefully locked away, you can't find it anymore. And I know that because that's what I did. I know that because I have now practiced all of the fearless living tools to unlock those answers for myself. And I know that because I still have a coach. Because when I get all stirred up and agitated, I can't always remember the next question for myself either. And I've been a fully certified coach for 4 years now. And I will always have a coach. And I hope I am always your coach. And if you're curious about what it's like to work with a coach, I am offering free 20-minute sessions as a result of this Fearless Forgiveness session. So even if you're watching a recording and not watching today, and you want to check out what Fearless Life Coaching might be for you, email me, contact me. Let's set up an appointment. Let's do a complimentary 20-minute session. Let's explore something that you find yourself tripping over. And if I'm not a good match for you, I know a lot of coaches, I can refer you elsewhere. And if I am a good match, let's do this. Let me help you learn all these tools, practice all these tools, implement these tools. Forgiveness is one of them, and the forgiveness tools that I have used in this series have all been fearless living tools. Now, I've been reading other books, and I've mentioned some of them, and if you want a model for forgiveness, read Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Read his speeches. His whole life was about forgiveness to heal the racial issue in order to undo it. He was fighting against it lovingly. He was fighting against it without violence, but definitely with strength and courage and conviction and forgiveness, constant forgiveness. I think the quote I mentioned of his either last week or the week before was, and this may not quite be verbatim, but I choose to stand in love because hate is too great a burden to bear. That is a powerful way to live. That is not an easy way to live, at least not for me yet, but that's where I want to be. So check out Fearless Living, check out coaching. I have a wonderful, we can start shorter, but I also have a wonderful 12-session arc that I would love to take you through, where we're going to work all the way through Rhonda Britton's book, Fearless Living. Work through all the tools, practice the exercises, look at where they could be applied. Sometimes it's a little hard to do this stuff, and so one of the things we can do in coaching is role playing. Practice saying these things. If you have a difficult conversation you need to have because you need to clarify something with someone because something they said hurt or isn't working, or you just don't understand how they could be that way, we can confront people. It often isn't very effective. You confront someone, the tendency is for them to dig in. You're not going to change my mind. There's nothing wrong with me. But clarification, that's where I'm coming to you. I want to know more about how you came to this conclusion, why you're doing what you're doing. And if we need to work together, I would like to have a better understanding of where you're coming from, because I would like to be able to work together. And I think I'm not understanding what it is you're really trying to accomplish, and so I'm not being good support. This isn't working well. So I would like to understand you better. When we come to people for clarification, we can stay in the present moment. We don't have to dig in. And then we can be open to conversation. And this point of clarification is exactly what we need right now to overcome white fragility and to overcome privilege. Whatever the privilege is, whether it's racial privilege, whether you think it's religious privilege, whether it's socioeconomic privilege, anything that causes us to look down on someone else is unloving and unkind, and it doesn't support our own best self, and it certainly isn't supportive of others. And if we want to be able to move through our world with joy and grace, we must embrace everybody. So I want to thank you so much for joining me in Forgiveness Fridays and being a part of this community to heal the holes in the souls of humanity. Get your invitation to join the Zoom live chat, which is going to start in about 10 minutes, 9:30 a.m. Eastern. I'm Sylvia McIntosh, Fearless Life Coach with Make Your Life Your Own Life Coaching. Thank you for being here.